Well, after sitting in Anthros for over 300 hours just this month, I'll be showing you what Anthros is and whether or not it's legit, what I would tell my own mother if she were to ask me whether she should buy an Anthros chair, a popular competitor, or something else entirely, and how to avoid the huge money-wasting scam that all the major chair companies are hoping you fall for. But first, let's take a quick look at some of Anthros' coolest features. I just got the world's most ergonomic chair. Anthros is the viral office chair designed by medical professionals to fix your shitty posture forever. I think it's great that kids aren't working in coal mines anymore. Hooray! However, this work from home, hunched over a computer for 8 hours a day lifestyle comes with some hazards of its own, like back pain or the dreaded tech neck. Personally, I'm hoping to be a DILF one day, not a dollar store Quasimodo. So I am really hoping Anthros lives up to the hype.
Pull it up, Jamie.
Look at this. 4 different adjustable knobs and levers. Is this a chair or a f***ing rocket ship? I'm not sure what's in this cushion, but it's insanely comfortable. But what really makes Anthros unique is this 2-part back system which adapts to your specific body shape. So this lower pad comes forward to support the pelvis and prevent slouching. Then the upper pad is adjusted separately to prop up and align your back and shoulders. Okay, so 1 month later now, I've got some real hands-on experience and I can give you my honest Anthros review. So first things first, I know exactly how you're feeling right now. This is a major purchase, and not only are top-tier chairs like this expensive, but they also last a long time. So you don't want to choose wrong and be sitting in something uncomfortable for the next 15 years. Trust me, I get it. I have a 400 square foot condo. So for my European subscribers on the metric system, that means that if a guest shits in my bathroom, I smell it in the kitchen. I don't have the space to cross-test and compare 30 different office chairs side by side. I'm not that kind of girl. Which is why it's so important that I do my research and find the best chair, ideally on my first try. So I went deep down the office chair rabbit hole, spending over 40 hours of my precious life watching chair reviews, comparison videos, tier lists, lurking through Reddit threads. Also, you don't have to. Give me a like or something. Eventually, I wound up with a short list of the absolute top tier office and gaming chairs, and with that, I went undercover to a local chair store where I absolutely wasted Mark the sales rep's time trying all of the most popular models out, knowing full well I was never going to buy anything there since the best deal is always online. I am genuinely so sorry, Mark. And trying all these chairs, I quickly realized something crazy about the chair industry. A way that the big companies are tricking hardworking customers like you into wasting your money on bullshit marketing hype. But I'm gonna let that cat out of the bag later in the video. For now, let's talk about my personal experience with Anthros. So my buddy Mark pulls up a chair for me, and I gotta say, I didn't exactly get it right away. I mean, the cushion was super comfortable on my hiney, and I love the unique look of the wooden back panel options, but I definitely wasn't seeing why someone would pay nearly $1.50 for this thing. But I'm gonna be honest, when Mark started to adjust the chair for me, it immediately just clicked. And suddenly I just got it. And this next part is exactly where I had my holy shit moment. So basically, with the 2 back pieces all the way back, and see, you know I love you guys because I just reset my perfect configuration for you. So with those back pieces set to the back, you're gonna back that ass up as far back against the chair as you possibly can, leaving about 1 inch of space between your leg and the chair. And before you adjust anything, if you tilt your pelvis like this, you can feel the difference between an ideal upright posture versus just totally slouching. So we're gonna bring the lower back piece forward first until you feel it kind of holding your pelvis in that ideal tilt that'll prevent your whole lower back from slouching down. Now, seriously kids, if this is cap, call me out in the comments because this was my holy shit moment and I think it will be for most people. This pelvis support works with the natural curvature of your back to make lower back slouching impossible, and it feels so much better than traditional lumbar support. Next, we bring the upper back piece forward until we feel comfortable and supported. This back piece also pivots, which might seem weird, but trust me, just let it happen. It'll make sense later. It'll definitely take a few minutes of experimenting with the levers to get the back pieces to feel just right for you. But when you do, I'm telling you, it'll all make sense. You'll know what it's like to feel comfortable and have good posture at the same time, and it'll completely change the way you think about sitting forever. Finally, you can tilt the whole chair, which is a little different than reclining because the seat and back actually stay in position and move together. So you can stay in that good posture even when you're kicking back to play video games or watch TV. There are some hidden secrets when using this tilt feature, like a special way to lock in at a super comfortable 6-degree tilt, so I highly recommend taking advantage of the free 15-minute therapist consultation they include with your purchase so you can learn those tricks and make sure you're actually using the chair to its fullest potential. Oh, also, you can easily adjust the height of Anthros as well as the 4D armrests, which can move up and down, forward and back, in and out, and can even be turned at different angles. And adjusting all these things just right can help your posture even further by making sure you can relax your arms and not hold tension in your shoulders. Or you could just easily remove the arms altogether. There's a custom chair configurator on Anthros' website, which I'll link to down below, where you can build your perfect chair from scratch. You can choose the chair color, the fabric, the back panels, the base, the arms, and even the casters. Obviously, everyone's taste is different, but my two non-negotiables were the arms and the swivel base. My ADHD ass needs a swivel base. Also, for the back panels, you can go for a refined wooden look, or you could do more of a gamer look, but don't get too hung up on this decision because you can always swap them out pretty easily. All right, I don't want to get too hung up on the technical specs here because honestly, the Anthros website is already full of really fantastic video tutorials, but if I missed anything big or you've got a question, just drop it in the comments. Now, I really want to tell you what I'd tell my own mom if she asked me about getting an Anthros chair of her own, but before I forget, I've got some shit talking to do. Because before landing on Anthros, I did try all the other most popular top tier options out. And don't get me wrong, they were all incredibly comfortable chairs. But this is where most people f up. See, I actually noticed my posture deteriorating a few years ago and started looking for an awesome new office chair back then. But I got distracted. Shiny object syndrome. And all it took was one Instagram ad for a smart massaging office chair, and I completely forgot my original mission to fix my impending tech neck. Now, in all fairness, that chair actually gave a very solid massage, but looking back, I'll admit it actually made my posture worse. So with age and wisdom comes my knowledge that there's a big difference between something cool to sit in and something healthy to sit in. If you work at a desk, you probably spend at least 1/3 of your life sitting, and that doesn't even include time spent watching TV, playing video games, or reading a book. So you'd better be sitting right. Yet almost every major player in the chair space seems to focus more on marketing than truly innovating a product that's good for us. Should I call out the big names and burn some bridges? Fuck it, you guys are worth it. Let's do it. Herman Miller, Steelcase, Haworth. What do these companies have in common? Well, they're all about 100 years old with about 10,000 employees, and they sell more chair models than I could possibly count. Why am I pointing this out? Because when companies are that big and that old, I promise you, they're not innovating shit. They're dinosaurs slowed down by corporate bloat and playing defense to maintain their 100-year market lead. Let's step away from the chair industry for a minute and take American Standard, for example, the 150-year-old plumbing supply company that makes most of the toilets in the US. How much has the average toilet changed in your lifetime? In America, the answer is not a whole lot. We're still wiping with tree bark like absolute savages while Japan's got AI-enhanced luxury bidets. Actually, that's a good product review for my next video. Write that down. These monster companies are not taking risks and thinking outside the box the way a small, innovative company like Anthros is. They use industry buzzwords like ergonomic and lumbar support, but all they're really doing is pumping out a different product to market toward every potential buyer persona. In fact, some of these companies' most popular models are just variations of models that have been around since before the internet had even had us sitting at desks for 8 hours a day. I mean, look at Herman Miller. Huge name in the industry, and they make very comfortable chairs, but I just don't believe that they're really innovating for the future. I mean, why would they? They make so much money in the business-to-business sector, they don't need to worry about selling directly to consumers like you and me. They don't need to take the financial risk of directing resources to develop an innovative new product, even if it is better for your back. Yup, they're the ones making those commercial airport seats we all love. I'm sure they really care about your posture. And then you got companies like Secret Lab who will just slap a Pokemon sticker on the back and charge you an extra $100 for the pleasure. This is just my opinion. You're entitled to your own, but for me, I think it's a huge plus that Anthros is a small, young team that offers just one chair model, and when my money's on the table, I prefer to know that I'm getting the flagship product that received most of the team's time and attention. But Anthros isn't perfect, so let's talk pros and cons, and then I'll tell you what I'd tell my own mother if she were thinking about buying an Anthros chair. Pros and cons. Let's start with the big one. This chair will definitely improve your posture. When you get the adjustments just right, it just clicks and you get it. I'm not someone who has necessarily had poor posture, but my posture is definitely not as good as it was 10 years ago when I was an overcompensating college kid walking around campus with his shoulders back and his chest puffed out. But within a few days of sitting in Anthros, I felt that confident posture coming back, minus the toxic frat boy strut. But I genuinely feel that my postural back muscles are getting strong again now that I'm using them, and I'm finding myself mindful of my posture even when I'm not sitting in the chair. And I love that for me. The second major pro, Anthros is also super comfortable. You really wouldn't expect it to be with all the talk of health and posture, but this thing is right up there on comfort with all the other top tier chairs, with the added benefit of actually being good for your spine. And the final major pro, Anthros is serious about their mission. It's obvious they care about their customers. If I didn't believe that 100%, I wouldn't risk my reputation to say it. You can literally book a 15-minute posture consult with them, even if you don't buy a chair. They're a small team with great vibes, and they offer a generous 30-day guarantee plus a very generous 12-year warranty. Now for the cons. First, there's no headrest. Now, that's not something I care about personally, but I know some people will. Personally, my opinion is if you want comfort at the cost of posture, just buy yourself a sectional couch and call it a day. Second con. Honestly, your back is probably going to be a little bit sore for the first day or two of sitting in Anthros. If you've ever gone to the gym after a long period of not exercising, you know why this is. Your body just needs to get used to it by using those muscles again. It's a good thing, it'll pass. And the final con, the elephant in the room, is obviously this is an expensive chair. If it's out of your price range, don't go into debt to buy one, but I will say, a chair is a lot like a mattress. You're going to spend about a third of your life on one, so it's probably not something you should skimp on. For what it's worth, Anthros is HSA and FSA eligible, and I also reached out to them for a special discount link for you guys, which I think is like a few $100s off right now. Supposedly the best deal you can get anywhere, so I'll drop that link down below and keep it updated for you guys. But now, it's time for the mom test. If my own mother were to call me up today and ask me whether she should buy an Anthros chair, could I honestly recommend it to her? So honestly, with this product, yes, I would. I hate the idea of my sweet mama becoming one of those sad old people with the massive hunchbacks, or honestly, even just the thought of her suffering from back pain, neck pain, or mobility issues later in life. It's not a fun thing to think about. If something as simple as fixing the way she sits could add a few good years to her life where she's not hobbling around in pain or needing expensive spinal surgeries, then I say it's worth it. And having sat in Anthros for over 300 hours myself, I actually do believe that it's the current best way to sit for long periods of time. The only thing that would give me any pause at all to recommend Anthros to my mom is the price. And it's not that I don't think the chair is worth it, it's just that I don't think my mom would actually take the 10 minutes required to learn how to adjust the chair properly. I guess my takeaway is Anthros is absolutely worth it as long as you're serious enough about improving your posture to keep an open mind and to take the small amount of initiative required to use the chair properly. If that doesn't sound like you, you'd probably wind up being one of a very small percentage of people taking advantage of that 30-day return policy. But since I love my mama, I'd also remind her to use my discount link down in the description below to save some of that sweet, sweet inheritance money. And doing so would also help support her favorite son's YouTube channel, which I always appreciate. As for the rest of you, let me know what chair you're currently sitting in and how you like it down in the comments below. Otherwise, check out this other cool product you might be interested in. Like, comment, subscribe.